Hi, Mark. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, so I want to use two devices to join you in case. let's, okay. Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, fine. I'll take this confirm. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, good
I
afternoon.
can hear you, but it seems to be echoing somewhere. Right?
Yeah, okay, so let me. Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We don't have a lot of people on the call yet, so we might have to give some time for them to join.
No problem, no problem, no problem.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining in early. We're still expecting some more people to join us, so please let's give 5 more minutes before we start. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll go ahead and start, and others can join us in a bit. Please, can you drop some smileys in the chat to confirm that you can hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Yano. Thank you, Abdisalam. Thank you very much. Okay, so my name is Hope Ukebo, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to this exciting session where we will explore the topic structuring your hub operations for growth. And before we begin, I'd like to thank everyone once again for being here today. We are definitely going to have an interactive session. This session is definitely going to be insightful. So please get your pens, get your notepads in front of you, and get ready to take notes. We're going to ensure that this session is very brief. So I encourage you to engage and participate throughout the session. And if you're ready and you know that you're ready for this session and all of the valuable insights that it has in store for us, please go ahead and type "I'm ready" in the chat. Are you ready? If you're ready, please type "I'm ready" in the chat so that we know you're ready for us. Are we not ready for this session? Great. Thank you, Yanu Olua. Thank you for being here. If you know you're super ready, thank you, Aminu. That's nice to hear. Oh, great. Thank you, Shukra. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. So, like I said, we're going to make the session as brief as possible. So, without further ado, I'm happy to introduce our facilitator for this session, Mark Onoja. Mark is the co-founder of the Startup Place, one of our member hubs that specializes in startup incubation and small business acceleration. And this is where he has played a pivotal role in fostering innovation and sustainable growth within the entrepreneurial landscape. He's an expert in supporting entrepreneurs, startups, small businesses, and emerging enterprises, setting them up for success. And we are very fortunate to have him here to guide us through this session today. And I'm very sure that we are all going to gain a lot from this experience. So on that note, I would like to welcome Mark Anoja. Hi, Mark. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Hope. Good
Good
afternoon, everyone.
afternoon. Yeah.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Ma.
We're happy to have you.
Thanks for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, sorry, I think you may need to enable me so that I could share my screen. Right, I need to share a slide. Sorry, Hope, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I've done that.
Okay. All right, fine. Um, okay. All right. Please just confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Hello? Okay, you can. All right, sorry. Let me just put this in the presentation mode so that we can start. All right, good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to say a big thank you to ISN Opt. Thank you for the opportunity to come share from some of my little wisdom with us on how to structure our org operations for growth. And also thank you, Ma Hope, for following me up as regards to this. I'm pretty much excited about today's class. Um, Sorry, I'm not in the office. I traveled. I had the training to do, so I just quickly had to run back to the hotel room to have this done. Okay, fine. I will teach, then we're going to have some practical sites to do. I know this is supposed to run from now to like sometimes 4:30. I promise to make this worth your while and worth your time. Uh, I've been running startup and basically small businesses for a very long time, and of course, I'll be sharing from my little experience and see how it could basically help your up to grow. So what are you going to learn today? We are going to start from the building block of a business. If you're running an hub, I know it's a startup, but of course, it's still a business. So we're going to learn about the building block of a business. I'm going to teach you about structuring, what structuring is, and why you need to structure your business. Then we're going to just look at the four key areas when it comes to basically structuring your hub and your operations. So your operations part, your finance part, we'll talk about the marketing part, and we'll talk about the human resource part. I'll tell you key core areas to focus on, core areas that pertains to each of these four areas, and how you can just easily create a simple structure. And of course, next step after that. Um, yeah, my profile was right. This is supposed to be changed to 1,000, but I've worked with over 1,000 businesses. I officially started doing consulting from 2013, sometimes November, December. I was doing trainings then. Then I switched to doing advisory. Then I then switched from advisory to start doing both finance and HR advisory and business advisory. So basically, I work with startup and small businesses. That's my focus. I'm the co-founder of the Startup Place. I run the company with my dad. We were in Lagos for now, and next year will be 10 years. We officially started running the Startup Place sometimes October 5th. So October 5th this year should be like the 90th of us existing. We have worked with close to 500 startup and small businesses since we started. So a lot of the things I'll be sharing from experiences of startup and small businesses that we have worked with. So I was supposed to do this intro part, but I don't know whether I should just shift it. So maybe we can just put it in the chat. What's your name? What org do you represent? What do you do in your org? And perhaps some expectations from the class. So if I can be able to get that, it does help me know what kind of examples I can be using. So if you can just quickly type that, your name, uh, your org, like the org you run. Or if you don't run the org and you run a startup, okay, the startup you run. If you don't run a startup and you run a small business, okay, there's a small business you run. What you guys do there is, of course, it's also a means of networking and marketing. And of course, your expectation at the end of the day, what are you looking at achieving from this class? So I would just pause my screen and check. Is it just me or your slide is not moving as you talk? Ah, the slide is moving. All right. Okay. Aminu Abdullahi from SI Up from Sokoto. Aminu, thank you. Thanks for coming around. Um, so you can also get to type what are your expectation. Uh, it is now. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Chika Isaac. So your name. So please, if you can just type that, we can also use like a mini for that. Your name, the org you represent. If you don't represent a org, you represent a startup or a small business or anything you present. So say, this is what I represent and this is what we do. And also you can get to also type what are your expectations from the class? What do you look at achieving at the end of the day? So I think I would like to see that. Maybe I should off these lights. Okay, that is disturbing a bit. Okay, this is better. Okay. Kenny Co-work Style Limited, we provide co-working spaces for small businesses and startups. Wow, Kenny, really nice to meet you. What are your expectations from the class? I will appreciate that. Maybe we could also use like a minute or two for this so we could get to start. All right, so please just type your name, what you do, what org do you represent, and your expectation from the class. I think I can see Shukra and Aminu Abdusalam typing also too. Okay, maybe we should just get theirs, then we can start. All right, Mustafa Salih Yakub, SI Orb Sokoto. I think it's the same thing with Aminu. Okay, and improve and better performing orb. Okay, that's good. Let me give a thumbs up to that. Dr. Shukurat Bello, founder Shafana Innovates Hub. Well, that's good. We're into digital entrepreneurship and all sectors in the green economy. Yeah, the green economy is actually getting this big boost, especially in the world right now, and this part of the world. I want to know how to attract more clients, MSMEs, startups to the hub. Okay, we will deal with some parts when it comes to marketing today. All right, so maybe we should just take the last person, then we can get to start. So who is that? I know two persons are typing, Chika Isaac and Abdul. So let me get that. So someone said better performing up. Another person talked about attracting MSMEs. Better performing up will be the operations part. Attracting MSMEs will be like the marketing and sales part. We'll definitely deal with those two parts. I mean, from SAC Sokoto. Okay. Yeah, Kenny, if you could just type what's your expectation from the end of the class, then I am Chika. Okay, let's read Chika. I represent Speed Up Prime, a strategy and management consulting firm. Okay, all right. Or looking to start it up and want to learn the nitty-gritty of better operations. All right, thank you. So nitty-gritty of better operations when it comes to starting it up. All right, no problem. Abdusalam STEM Innovators Lab Kano, sorry. Build, scale, and empower youth with an entrepreneur mindset. Improve our all processes and practice. That would be operations. Saint Orife from Corif Tech Solutions based in Asaba. I am here to learn. I'm also here to learn too. All right, I'm going to master new ways to manage up for effective performance. All right, so from a lot of the things we'll be sharing so far, all right. Oh, please just confirm you could see my slide, so I know I could just continue.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. And it's moving, right?
It's at Let's Meet You. It hasn't moved from that.
Has it moved again?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Is this are you seeing the slide now? Is it showing what is it showing now? Building blocks?
So now we can't see the slide at all. So you might have to
Oh,
stop share and then try resharing again.
yeah. Is it showing the slide?
Yes, yes.
Building blocks, right?
Yes, building blocks.
All right, fine. So I do you know I may not just jump to the presentation part. I'll just leave it like at this. I'm not using my Microsoft Teams is I don't know, my system started misbehaving this afternoon. Okay, so let's start, right? So I'll be sharing with us basically, like we said, how to actually structure our up. Now, one of the things you need to note is this that please you may need to drop some mindsets because I'll be attacking some of your mindset. Number one, whether you're running a startup, you're running a up, um, you're into business. Just note it in your mind that I am running a business. Um, Whether you're a startup, you're a small business, you're a hub, you are a accelerator, you're an incubator, any of those things you're doing, especially when you're giving value and receiving value back, you're running a business. And if you take it from the standpoint of I am actually running a business, you will better off grow as quote unquote as a company. So the first thing we need to understand is what is a business. Um, I use the word business basically because there was a certain point I was a consultant and I just like doing consulting. And I love consulting. I love giving people advice. But one day I told my friends that I really don't want to be a consultant. I want to run a consulting company. Now, it's different from you being a startup and running a startup company that is a business. So a business talks about an organized system that creates value for a target market that can be exchanged for profit. So when you put an organized system in place and you're creating value for people, and at the end of the day, you're getting rewarded for it, like getting monetary reward. Let's use the word monetary reward right now. And you're making profit, monetary rewards from it, you're in business. So business entails creating value within a system, right? That you have a target market and you're exchanging it for profit. We can have a full day seminar from this statement because organized system is one. How do you organize that system? Number two, how do we create that value? Number three, who is our target market? Number four, how do we ensure that we are constantly exchanging our value? Number five, how do we make profits? So if you just look at different areas, so if you look at it, business involves production, involves marketing and sales, involves human resource, involves finance, and involves operation. I was teaching some entrepreneurs, some female entrepreneurs, right, on Monday and Tuesday. I remember the Tuesday class, that was like 2 days ago. I will talk at some point. I'll look at one of them and say, how far? She said, she'll just break. She said, business is tough. I said, of course, it's tough. That's why a lot of persons don't really go into business. Now, I'm talking to us right now as business people, not as 9 to 5 guys. So we'll say some things, right? So if you're a 9 to 5 person here, sorry, we're going to say some things as business people. So business talks about having that system. So if you don't have the system in place, you are basically not in business. You're just doing some side gig or stuff like that, right? So you are creating value and you're exchanging the value for profit and you have a target market. So basically, if you're doing that, you're in business. Now, based on this definition, you will discover that every business have 6 parts, six core parts to a business. Now, the first part talks about the purpose to a business. A lot of entrepreneurs say in this purpose part, and they does while away time there romance with the purpose part. The purpose talks about your idea, your aim, your objective, your vision for why you start a business. The startup place, our own idea and aim is to enable business growth effectively. There's not too much grammar there. We just want to help businesses grow. So the first part has to do with your purpose, which is very important. It's an aspect of your business. It changes over time. That is just it. Next has to do with your processes, meaning that the operations of creating systems and functions by your core business operations. So how does your core business operation works? Now we are startups here. A lot of us understand this term called business model canvas. If you don't, please go online, browse about it. I have a YouTube channel. I did a class about it. It's called business model canvas. Your org needs to have a BMC, right? Especially when you're starting or you just started, you need to have a BMC, business model canvas. So in the business model canvas, there's a part called core activities that talks about your core business operation. Then it talks about the profit part. So the operation of sourcing capital and managing your revenue, right? We manage revenue, we source capital, we ensure that we can be able to find a way to manage our expenditure. Basically, that is just the profit part. I've used 5P so that it's people can easily remember it. Then we have the people part, very important. So the operation of sourcing, managing, and growing your workforce. If you need to run a profitable business as a hub, you need a profitable hub as a business, you need to understand the parts that people play. Hi, the startup place, right? We have like 16 guys that works for us, and well, we're still having people issue a little bit. We just let go of somebody. We're looking at letting go of another person. We're looking at bringing more people in. We're growing, and we have to see the way of growing our workforce. So the people part is a very important part when it comes to business. Then, of course, product part. Product talks about the value you're putting out there, right? Because every business creates a value that they exchange with. So when you go to the marketplace, they don't give you money because of people like you and like how your hobby is fine or like your business idea. If your business idea cannot be converted to tangible value, right? Or intangible value, or when I mean tangible value, means something that people can actually associate with, that can give them a result, a solution, and a benefit. You're not going to be paid for. That is a product part. Then, of course, promotion, right? So usually they say if you're running a business without marketing, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. The promotion part talks about how do we attract and retain our ideal customer. So these are like the 6 key parts to a business. Now, as your business grows over time, these 6 parts breaks. So something like promotion is in marketing and sales, but for a big business like something like Dangote, Dangote will have marketing, will have sales, will have customer service, will have product development. Of course, we have PR. Of recently, I saw that they advertised because of this NNPC voila. They advertised for a role of somebody that they want to bring on board as a change manager. I was like, Dangote has really gotten some hits from the cabals in that industry. But for a startup, you don't have change manager. You're basically be the one doing all of those things. Now, before we move further, I start doing the practical side. I normally call this guy Stream Muscatia. Now, I learned this thing from a guy called Michael E. Gerber. He wrote a book called The E-Myth. Now, when he wrote a book called The E-Myth, I love that book very much. He said there are 3 persons that run a business, but there are 3 persons that make for any enterprise to work. There is a technician, there is a manager, and there is an entrepreneur. So I'd like to pause the class right now. I hope you guys can hear me, so I know I'm not so speaking to myself. Don't worry, we'll get to the practical side. We'll do practical right now. Just the foundation. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, fine. I can fire. So, Michael E. Gerber spoke about 3 persons that run a business. Any successful enterprise, you say, there are 3 persons. Now, I'm going to say that I will explain it, and I will then say something that is happening within the startup and the hub ecosystem, why some hubs are failing and why some startups are failing. So, we have the technicians. The technicians are people that do the everyday work, the operational guys. So, if you have a hub, the people that run around ensure that the hub is functioning very well, the people that when you have any projects to do that goes to the field, that organize those trainings and do any of those stuff, those are the technician guys. Then we have the manager. The hub manager is a manager. Managers basically talk about people that put systems and structures in place that ensures that these technicians work very well there. So you put systems and structure in place to ensure that your technician works effectively. Then we have the entrepreneur, which is mostly you, that came up with the idea for the hub, takes the risks and pull resources together. So we have the technician, we have the manager, and we have the entrepreneur. Every enterprise you see succeeding, whether a startup, a small business, a company, a multinational, a social enterprise, these three guys play there. Now, if you guys notice, there's something really happening within the startup ecosystem that you will notice somebody raise capital, right? $1 million, $2 million, 600K, 500K, and 5 or 6 months later, the business has folded. I'm in Lagos, right? I'm in Lagos, Nigeria, and I normally get all of this gist. And one of the things I was discussing with someone there, I said that one of the things that makes this thing happen is that most of the persons that start up this enterprise were technicians that became entrepreneurs that lack management skill. I'll say that again. One of the reasons that make a lot of startups fail within not ISN ecosystem, but within the startup space ecosystem that they raise capital and fail is that they are technicians that became entrepreneur. We started coding, we came up with a product, we did a fine pitch deck, and we raised capital, and money has come right now. We don't have management skill. We don't know what to do with money. So the next thing we do is that we'll go and rent an office space that we don't need. We all change our laptop to the latest what's the latest system right now? The latest MacBook Pro that is almost 3 million naira. We want to do meeting and we fly ourselves all to Dubai and just waste money. And at the end of the day, we are not selling any products. We raise money and we're spending tons of money on marketing. We're not measuring all of those stuff. And the business will fold up. And if you start looking at village, it will start looking like village people are attacking us. It is not village people, right? So if you say the southern part of the country, you understand village people. It's not village people. You are the village person, right? So basically, okay, my system is not working well. So basically, the thing is this that if you start a up or you start an enterprise and you like management skill, get someone that is a good manager to help you because as a technician that became an entrepreneur, chances your business or your org or your enterprise will grow is very slim. We need to get that fundamental part because a lot of the things I'll be sharing with you has to do more with the management part. We work with a lot of businesses. Right now, we provide retainer services to like 25 businesses, and we do a lot of things for them. And I discovered a lot of them who have been doing a lot of hand holding for them because they were technicians that became entrepreneurs. And if you're a technician that became an entrepreneur and you lack management skill, most times the business will not grow. It will have this ceiling points that it won't grow beyond. So you need to really, really get to understand that stuff. So like I said from beginning that I was speaking to some of my friends and I told them, I want to run a consulting company. I don't want to be a consult. Of course, I'm a consultant, but I'm not too bothered about being a consultant. That is a self-employed person. I want to run a business. And if you know Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor That guy, he wrote a book called Cash Flow Quadrant, and he said that there are four levels of income. There is the employee, which none of us are here, but there's a self-employed, there's a business owner, and there's an investor. My plan is to be a business owner and investor, but I had to switch from being an employee to that place. Yeah, they've brought the lights inside the hotel. So AC will come right now. So basically right now, we're going to start talking about structuring. So for like I said from the beginning part, a business has to do with a system that creates value for a target market that can be exchanged for profit. Now, a business has six parts. There's the people part, there's the process, there is the purpose, there is profit, there's promotion, and like what's the last one? There's product. So, and every business you see succeeding, every enterprise is being made up of three guys. I call them the three musketeers, right? If you know about the musketeer story. So there's technician, there's the manager, and there's the entrepreneur. Please and please, a lot of us here are entrepreneurs, and of course we have technical skill, but please go and get management skill if you don't, or get somebody that is good with management to assist you. Most times, it's being advised to funders that when you raise capital like that, you step out from being the CEO or you step out from being the COO and just give somebody else to do it. Let someone that has a management skill that will run it. So it's like, I'll just say this last statement. It's like starting a fintech company. I have never worked in a bank. You have never worked in any financial house. You don't understand how money management work. Chances are your startup is going to work it very slim because if you are the CEO, you don't understand how money works. You just basically know how to create app, right? So let's move forward. So let's talk about structuring. So when it comes to structuring, right, we're talking about structuring our up. So I'll move forward and come back. So we'll start doing the practicals from this side. So I'll soon start practical in the next 10 minutes. So let's start with about structuring. So business structuring refers to the process of organizing and setting up systems and operational framework for operating your business entity. So I'll repeat it again. It's the process of organizing, then setting up systems. You organize, then you set up systems that would allow for your business to operate without you being around or with less supervision from you. I would add that. Now, it involves deciding your core business activity and creating a system by which your business can function like an entity. Now, everybody here that has a business, register the business because you have an account. So you registered your business. You discover your business is a legal entity. It means your business is like a human, right? So you need to be able to build this human to be able to stand on its own. I'm married. I have two kids, three, two that have become three. One was adopted. And of course, my kids are still toddlers, but I want a time that would come that I don't need to babysit them or always be with them. It's like you're having a 16 years old, 18 years old child, and the person cannot do some things for his or herself. You'll be bothered. So the same thing with running a business, that your business should come to a point where your business can be able to function even without you being around. Then you move to being a business owner, right? Except you just really want to have a job. And that is being a self-employed person. And I'm not talking to people that want to be a self-employed. We should build our up to become a full-fledged business. Now, proper business structuring is essential as it can have significant implication for liability, taxation, and governance. Now, if your business needs to really grow, you need to put structures in place. What you don't measure does not grow. Structures enables us for growth. Now, one of the things that if you look at yourself, you're a human being, but you know that there's a skeleton that is within this our fine frame called flesh. And that skeleton is the one that houses and holds a lot of our organs. If there's no skeleton, we're finished, right? So your business relies heavily on structure. In fact, your business cannot grow beyond the structure to which we have. So recently, I was talking to my dad, and I was like, God, I was like, Dad, um, I need us to grow, right? We're doing 25 businesses on retainer, but I really, really need us to grow. We need to grow, right? Because I think we have more potential. We want to grow to like 70. I have like 70 retainer. And one of the things he asked me is that, do you have that structure for that 70? I say, oh God, we'll create. I don't say, I say, Pop, say, I'll create the structure, we'll create the structure. So we've gotten a team lead, the person left, so we've gotten another team lead right now for the HR part. There's a team lead for the accounting part. I'm still looking at creating more sub teams. I'm still looking at pushing for us to get more clients so that we can be able to create structure. Our processes are streamlined so that we can actually grow. You don't grow beyond your structure. If you grow beyond your structure, you will fall. My foundation is building. So I read building tech in school. Surprise. I read building tech in school. I'm at the building university area. And I love building very well, right? I wanted to do architecture. I actually dated an architect. So of course I was teaching her something. So I understand the architecture part. And how building growth store is dependent on the structure. There are different type of foundation. There's strip foundation. The normal one for building a bungalow. There's a pad foundation. There's a raft foundation. But if you need to go very high, like a Burj Al Arab, sorry, like UBA Bank in Nigeria, let's use Nigeria context. You need to do a pie foundation. It needs to go some meters, like some hundreds of meters to the down deep before it can actually grow very tall. Because if you do a strip foundation and you build something very big, it's going to break. So our foundation and our structure will allow for us to grow. So why do we actually create structures in our business? One word, growth. Right, I want to do a series on this on my YouTube channel. One word for growth. We create structures in a business primarily to grow. Anybody you see creating structures in their business wants to grow. You don't create structures just for structure's sake. We create structures to enable growth, right? And I'll share some things later. So structures, basically three things happen. Number one, sustainability. So when you see somebody that wants to create structure in a business, or what I'm going to be teaching you today is to make your business sustainable, means ensure that your business lasts and outlive you. And of course, it starts the rough time. I'm not building the startup place for it to just die with me. You should outlive me like Coca-Cola. The founders are dead gone, but it's still staying up to now. So number one, sustainable. Number two, efficiency. Ensure that your business deliver on promised value every time. So sometimes you go to some restaurant to go and eat. Today the food tastes good. Tomorrow the food doesn't taste good. You're like, what happened? Or stuff like that. Now, is that how it's not supposed to be for your hub? Anybody that comes to your hub every other time should have the guarantee there's value, and that guaranteed value is being promised and given to the person. That comes based on structures, and we're going to look at it. Then, of course, profitability ensures that your business makes money and achieve the objective to which you set out to it from the inception. I know we have a vision to conquer the world, to help startup, to help people, blah blah blah, this and this. The primary purpose you started the business was to make profits, take it to the bank. Just put it somewhere and write it there. My business should be making me profit. Anything you do in your business, any system you put, anything you purchase, anybody you hire must make you money. If the person is not making you money, or saving you time that can be converted to money, waste of time. Right. Sorry, I'm going to be a bit harsh, but your business primarily is supposed to make you money. Primarily, it is supposed to make you profit. You can't be doing business and just be spending more your money without getting good return on investment. When my business makes money, I'm happy. I'm really, of course, I pay salary, right? I like pay salary. I don't like pay salary, but when the hub is making money, I'm happy. Why? Because of course, it's what's the time for crying out loud, right? It's like entrepreneurs will sacrifice too much. You go to bed thinking, you wake up thinking. Sometimes if you're married, it affects your family a bit, and in fact your relationship with your spouse because you're always thinking, you're always on the road. So making good profit is good. It's a form of a good compensation for the stress. So good. If you're following me, type I. So I just know that everybody is following me before we go to the practical side. So I'm not losing anyone. So if you're following me, of course, I've stopped sharing. So if you're following me, just type maybe I should just take one question here. So the next part I'm taking right now, like yes, thank you. Kenny Willie, thank you. Now the next part we're going to be going to right now would be the practical part. So you need to pull out your pen and your paper, and we're going to do practical. So right now we're going to do practical. I'll show you core value, core areas, the stuff you need to do step by step as you're doing it. I can share more, then we can talk about stuff. So it's practical. This is fully practical. I like my classes to be like that. So, all right, thank you. I've got some eyes. Now, next, does anybody have a question to ask before we proceed? And we've talked about what a business is, the parts of a business. We've spoken about structuring, putting systems in place so that your business can be sustainable, profitable, and efficient. And number one thing, or the primary reason why you put structures, or we're trying to structure our business, is for growth, is for us to grow. And you don't grow bigger than your structure. Please, if you can write that down, write it down somewhere. You cannot grow bigger than your structure. If you grow bigger than your structure, your business, your up or your business will fail. It's guaranteed. Take it to the bank. You cannot grow bigger than your structure. Businesses don't grow bigger than the structure. So it's a structure that determines how well you can grow and how sustainable your growth can be and how profitable you can be. Now, I'm going to say something here that sometimes I deal with startup and small businesses. And when sometimes people come to me and say, hey, I need funding. I'm like, okay, let's sit down and talk. And at the end of the day, when I'm done talking with them, they don't discover they don't really need funding. They just need wisdom. It's part of putting structures in place. So, okay, let's start. Since I've gotten some sufficient part. So we're back. Can you guys see my screen? Oh, can you see my screen? I'm back sharing. So I'm not.
Yes, yes.
Oh, good. So how to structure your hub. Now we talked about everything, a lot of stuff, and I said you need to run your hub as a business, practically. So there are 4 areas we're going to work on. So 4 key areas to structure your hub business, right? Number one, operations. The functions. So operations talks about the functions of daily managing the activities and tasks carried out to ensure your hub creates, captures, and delivers value. I know if you know if you have studied a bit of business model canvas, you understand this what's called create, capture, and deliver value. So operations talks about managing the daily activities and tasks that you carry out as a hub to ensure that number one, you create value, number two, you capture value, and number three, you deliver value. Create value, capture value, deliver value. That's activities and tasks that does that. It's called your operations. The next part has to do with accounting, right? The numbers part. A lot of persons don't like this accounting part. It's a function of attracting funding, managing resources, and growing your revenue. So for a startup, for a hub, right, for a small business, which of course we're addressing right now, your key accounting function is number one, raising funds, attracting funding, because you will need funding, especially to grow your business, your up, and to grow your business. Number two, managing the fund. Very important. That managing the fund part, I can talk about it tomorrow. Is the reason why a lot of businesses crash and a lot of businesses don't grow. We normally used to call it hand of God. Now speaking accounting language that I normally used to have some of our customers with. We're not saying that as I have done hand of God this month. Hand of God just means that you just put your hand inside your business and just take a chunk money out and close your eyes. Like entrepreneurs, we do it once in a while, but please reduce the hand of God. It's scaling your business. Of course, you need to pay yourself, put yourself on salary. Then growing your revenue, ensuring that consistently you're growing your revenue. Revenue means sales. Revenue means income. So you're growing your sales. So how do we ensure that we're growing our sales? I will say it again. How do we ensure we're growing our sales? So when we come to that part, we'll talk about some things that you need to kill in your business. Some products and services that you have in your hub, you're not supposed to have it. We'll talk about it. Then marketing, the function of sourcing new business opportunity and growing your brand awareness. Marketing basically does have to do with lead, brand awareness and lead generation, right? Of course, some of these functions touches sales, which have to do with um, lead conversion and delivering a promise. It touches customer management, which have to do with managing your customers and growing your community. It touches all of those parts, but most times they summarize it as marketing. Then human resources. Human resources talks about the function of attracting, managing, and growing a resourceful team, meaning that you can't do your job all by yourself. We're having our annual general meeting coming. You're going to travel, so your hub should close. The answer is no. Your hub should be open, and you have traveled, and you should be operating. So you should ensure that people should be there that should deliver value to people, even when you're not around. You should be able to travel. I've never gone on holiday, and I'm thinking about really doing that stuff right now. I really want to go on break. I really sincerely need to go on break. Yeah. So we're going to do about these 4 areas, and we're going to take like next 20 minutes for this. I know this is ending by 4:30. I want to give sufficient time for us to answer questions, for ask questions, so we can answer. So the first part has to do with operations. So we're dealing with 4 parts. So we'll do operations. I think we'll do accounting, marketing, then human resource. Then we'll take questions. So let's start with the first part, operations. So when it comes to your operations, and remember, operations has to do with the daily managing of your activities and your tasks that allows you to create, deliver, and capture value, right? Creating value, producing value, capturing value, making sales, delivering value, delivering your promise to the client. There are 2 areas for operations. So 2 areas, core areas. Number one is your core business activity. Number two is your project. Please remove your eyes off this step to structuring your operations. Just remove your eyes. We'll come to that. Let's focus on those 2 areas, those 2 areas. Now, core business activities, projects. Now, I didn't want to use the word operations 2 times. Your core business activities basically talks about everything you do every day to keep your business open and functioning. So you need to ask yourself, what do I do every day that keep my hub functioning and opening and ensuring that I'm delivering value? You do marketing every day. You do human resource every day. You do, if you are running an acceleration, you will do meetings every day. You would do, what else are you going to do as an acceleration? You're going to do consultation and advisory sections. You will do trainings every day. You will do design thinking with your guys every day. If you're running a tech firm, you're going to have stand-ups every day. These are core business activities. Now, let me tell you one tip. When you are designing this thing called core business activity, one of the things you need to know for your core business activity is that it is recurring. So activities that are recurring are referred to as core business activity because they are core things you do that keeps your business running. So the first thing you need to do when it comes to operations is that like I said, define your core business activity. So focus there. I did focus on projects. Now for projects, let me talk a little bit about projects. Then we'll do practical. It's just 6 steps we need to do. 6 simple steps and we're done. Now projects talks about things you do once a while. So I'm PMP certified. I say satisfied, certified, right? Sorry for that. Certified. And PMP talks about project management professional. Now, I then went to go and learn Agile at a point, and I then discovered that most times for startup and small businesses, we use Agile because Agile is quick, short. It is we create products as we go over time, right? It's a part of your operations, but it's not. If you need to be the business, then every time you do projects, of course, projects can be part of your value delivery, but it should not be part of your core operations. Why? Because project entails you creating something new every other time. You cannot just be creating things every other time new. Why? Because your staff will leave and come. You don't always have to be there. So if you're always creating something new, there'll always be a problem because you would always be creating something and you'll be needed. So you need to create something that is a value that can be repeatable and predictable over time. So that's why I don't want to talk too much about projects. So let's talk about the core business activities, which has to do with return stuff. So the first thing, so everybody, if you're writing, so let's start. What are your core business activity? So note that down. So let's make it practical. We can use 5 minutes for this. We define our core business activity. So what are the things you do? You do marketing, you do design thinking, you do customer management, you do people management, you do financial management. What else? Can we type in the section what are the core things that ops do every other day? Can we type it at the section so we can make it practical? What are the things you do every day as a op? So just type what are the things you do every day as a op to keep your doors open. Sorry, can you guys hear me? So I know I'm not speaking to myself. Okay. Okay, yeah, you guys can hear me. So what, yeah, yes. So what are the things you do every day as a op? So what are the things you do every day as a op? So just type what are the things you do. Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what are the things you do every day as a op? So let me just hear. What are the things you do every day as a op? You take bookings from customers, meetings, right? We take bookings, yeah. So we take bookings, we do meetings, we do design thinking sections, right? Um, yeah, we do stand-ups, right? Fire. Thank you for that. Can somebody else note down? You're pretty up. You're only up, so you should know what are the things you do every day. Yeah, meetings, bookings, brainstorming. Yeah, facility management is still part of the things you do every day. So trainings, mentorship section, program stuff. Yeah, that is good. That's very nice. So the first thing is that you define, means just list out all the core things you do as a up every other day. Now, the next thing you need to do is that you need to define the objective of each of your core business activities, meaning why are we doing meetings? Or what do we intend to achieve at the end of our meetings? Let me say it again. You define objectives. Objectives talks about why you do a thing or what are you trying to achieve. If you are doing stand-up to ensure that the team are all um are all in sync with what is happening within the hub every day, that is a defined objective. So for each of your core business activity, you define the objectives. Very important. Next thing, operations is usually very tough. Next thing, you break down each of your core business activity to not more than 5 steps. So take, for example, meetings. Let's break down our meetings. I don't have time right now. I would have showed you an example of a meeting structure that we create. We use in the startup place. Our daily meeting, weekly meeting, monthly meeting, quarterly meeting, we do for ourselves and for our clients. So a breakdown of our meetings is that 5 steps for meetings. Um, um, Welcoming the guests for everybody, presentation of reports, answering, dealing with issues and problems, right? Issues and recommendations, plans for the next week, AOB closing. I just mentioned like 6. So that is a structure for a meeting. So once you have that, even if you are not around, your meetings will hold well. So let me repeat myself. After you would have defined your core business activity, you need to break down each of your core business activity to no more than 5 steps. I'd call it the rule of 5 because you can easily remember 5 things, right? You see, I can remember mine because it's just 5. If it's like 10 or 20, voila. So you can even use ChatGPT and tell it, break down my meeting to not more than 5. Break down my meeting to not more than 5. Sorry, call is coming. I have to bounce it. Then document key performance indicator for each step. So each of the step, welcoming guests or welcoming everybody and taking head count for the meeting. What should we expect at the end of the day? So if I do welcoming and I do head count, what should we expect? If I'm doing the AOB sections, what should I expect at the end? What is the outcome? You need to define the outcome so that anybody that manages that part knows that at the end of the day, we can use that as a means of doing what is called performance evaluation or performance management. You see, operations ties to your marketing, it ties to your accounting, it ties also to your HR because you need to be able to evaluate yourself. So one of the reasons why we sacked somebody recently is that she was not meeting up to KPI and somebody else too is not meeting up to KPI and she already knows, we already warned her, giving her 2 warning. We're looking at letting her go. Why? Because she knows if we let her go, it's not our fault. You are not meeting up with KPI. Somebody that has been promoted from an intern to an officer to now a team lead within like 6 months because she was meeting KPIs and we need to build her up. So document key performance indicator for each step. What are you expecting at the end of the day from each of these things? So your meetings, the steps, and each of the steps you document it. Then you create a process flow. I think later on I will post on the group chat, ISN general group chat. I will post a link to a uh, an online tool you can use to create process flow. You can even use fight. It is here. You can use say it, this smart art. You can use it to create process. So this is a process. You can use this one. You don't even need to go too far. Basic process. You can do it there. So with PowerPoint, you can create your basic process flow. So process flow just talks about step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. When you have this, then it is now become a standard operating procedure, another word called an SOP. It means your operation for your hub is set. So even if you're not there, somebody that is working for you, say Hope is working for you, Madam Hope basically just have to pick that document and Madam Hope knows what to do. If Hope decides to leave you tomorrow and go somewhere else, and you bring um, Zainab to come and work for you, Zainab just needs to take that document, read and understand. We expect Zainab to be able to read and understand. And Zainab should be able to perform same value, same results, same efficiency as Hope will. So most times we deal with some customers and we send the staff to them. The staff is doing 1 or 2 stuff as regards to HR, business advisory. The staff leaves, somebody else comes, and they are in fact, the next person that comes is better than the last person that left. And they're like, why? How are you doing it? I'm like, we have documented processes for this stuff. How we send mails, how we respond to mails, how we do meetings with clients. All of those things are documented and they are always updated. We all continuously update our policy. We have 30 minutes. I like teaching too much. Okay. Next part, finance. Very important. So when it comes to finance, I'll take questions at the end. So I'll just rush through this stuff. Operation was a key part, so I needed us to deal with that. So when it comes to finance, there are 3 areas for finance. There's capital sourcing, there's capital management, there's revenue generation. Capital sourcing talks about raising capital. You need to raise money, especially when you're growing. Next, capital management. You need to manage your money. I'm looking at the camera now speaking to you. Please and please, you need to manage your money. Why? Because if an investor comes, right, later on in future, I'd like to open a VC firm, like in the next version, 2026, we should be looking to ending part of 2026, we should be already looking at opening a VC firm for the startup place. And a proper VC person, I've been studying about VC, is that they will check your books. If your books are not proper, they can't give you money. Why? Because they know you're not managing. If they give you money, you spend it, you blow the money. Then revenue generation. your up should be making money, should be making profit, good money, good profit. If it is not making, you need to tell yourself you work on it, and this is part of what we're going to do here. Now, what are we basically doing in this part? Number one, we'll just talk about these three parts. Raise capital. So what are the ways of raising capital? For structuring that, there are ways of raising capital. The first and most beautiful ways, and to me the most easiest way you could do to raise capital, is from your personal savings. Yep, your up should have a saving. So you should structure your finance in such a way that a part of your income coming in goes as savings. The settled place, we have to start doing it, and it has been helping us very well. Next, the savings have been saving us. All right, family and friends. Of course, you can talk to family and friends to raise capital, right, from them. But now, the tip to raising capital from family and friends, let me give you a very good tip. Say your up needs 10 million naira. Please don't go and meet your family and friends and tell them we need 10 million. Go with a document, documented, this is what you need the money for, and this is what comes out. And you must have what they call equity contribution. You must have your own part. So you should tell them that, okay, I'm looking for 10 million because I like to scale my operations and grow. But right now, I currently have 2 million and I'm looking for 8. They will take you serious than I'm looking for 10 million and I don't have jack. Nobody will take you serious. Take it to the bank. I've done it several times. I've advised people that have done it several times and it has worked. Thirdly, grants. Yeah, startups like grants. So we like grants to apply for grants up and down and stuff. So grant is very good. Loan is another way. Please and please, until you are very sure on your revenue structure, meaning you can guarantee that you can make X amount of money monthly or X amount of money within a cycle, quarterly or weekly or stuff, and you are guaranteed of your operations, you're guaranteed of your products and services delivering results, and you're guaranteed of your projection. Don't take loans. I beg you. You can take loans to fund assets that you know you can, worst case scenario, you can sell them off and pay up your loan. But if you're not guaranteed of your finance, please don't take loan. You're better off without it. Then, of course, equity. You could raise money and you could get investors that will take a part of equity. Now, I'm going to say something. Like I said, I'm going to do some disruptive thinking. I would suggest if you have your systems in your business set up properly, especially your financial part, and you have all of this your numbers set up properly, not to go for equity, you could go for loan. Debt financing is better. Why? It puts you under pressure that you know you want to pay. In this part of the country, south, we call it basic. You know you won't need to pay loan, so you will make you be more serious compared to you just raise money and you're relaxing a bit. Now, if you need to go for equity, anybody that is bringing equity to your business should provide more than equity. So don't just go and take money from people. You need to ask them, what else are they bringing to the table? Are they bringing management, operation? Are they bringing governance? Are they bringing access to markets? Are they bringing access to technology? Are they bringing access to some certain kind of resources that you need to scale and grow? Don't just take only money. Money is fine, but there are things that could help you. So I have 3 advisory members, and not board members, advisory members. The board members are quite kind of busy for now. None of them have given me money. None of them have given us clients right now. But the wisdom that I've provided for us since 2019, ending 2020 up to now has helped us scale and grow massively. That's wisdom and that structure that have been helping us to put in place, because we just created our next 5 year strategic goal plan. And I presented it to one of them, and I have 2 other persons to present to between now and November. And he told me how to fine tune stuff, and that just helped very well. Just basic wisdom. It was better than him giving us money. Right. Then define and document your income and expenditure. Structure, you need to define and document your income and expenditure. How much is your hub making? You have to be very sincere with yourself. How much is our hub making? How much are we spending? The expenditure part, if we have time, the next time, so I already promised Hope I'm going to take a class. So the next class I'm going to take, we're going to focus more on finance. I will see how to create financial structure. And one of the things I normally run clients through to do is how much are you spending in your business monthly on your up? So that we'll know whether you're making profit or you're just living by. I once went for a training and I saw somebody there that every year the guy makes 80 million, and every year the guy was spending He was making between 80 to 100 million, and every year he was spending 120 million. So the guy was losing 20 million naira every year. But you see, he has cash, and you just think the guy is doing well. Why? But the guy was sinking. He's not doing fine now. He was doing IT. It was not a startup, it was a small business. But it is very important you document and you know what is coming in and what is going out. You need to sit on it every time. Best way, go and print your account details. Print it, go and lock yourself in one room and say, yeah, this is what is coming, this is what is going out. This is how many times I did hand of God. So that you can know what we're supposed to cut down on expenditure, right? And who is stealing from your business, because yeah, it happens. Good. Create and execute a budget. It is very important to have the word called a budget. Budget just talks about what are you projecting to make or what are you projecting to spend, right? So this is the finance part, like how to structure your marketing. So marketing. So I will do a little bit more on marketing. So we could just do some practical here. So when it comes to marketing, there are tricky areas you should focus on: lead generation, lead conversion, customer management. Lead generation, how do we generate lead? The leads called potential customers. Lead conversion, how do we turn these potential customers to paying customers? There are two different things. Likes on Facebook and your Instagram, it is not business. People can like your posts. If they don't buy that product and services, you can have 10,000 views. You can have your video reel to show on the Instagram feed. If people don't come to your DM and ask for account details and pay, it is good, but it is not good. I am just being sincere. Sorry, I am talking as a person that runs a business and help people to grow their business. So you need to just put it in your mind that, hey, if we're running ad, and there's one of my clients, she runs ad every day, 100K. I told her she needs to stop. We're having management meeting on Friday. On Saturday, I told her we need to stop it. We need to sack some of your customer service people. Why? Because they are not converting the leads they are generating. You're just spending 3 million naira on ad, and your sales you're making every month is 20 million. It's not commensurate. You should be making like maybe 50, 60 million. We'll be fine. But at that rate, nah, you're spending too much. Your sales is not even coming as much as it can. Right. So it's very important that you go beyond likes. Likes and share and saved is tell yourself you we must get leads that has to lead to paying customers if you are running ads, right? Any of those things you're doing, is marketing is an investment anyway. So first thing, define for your marketing: what is your product, what are the people you're targeting, what is your price point, and what is your promotion. So number one, your products, your people you're targeting, your price points, and your promotion. So let us do that practical a little bit. What's your product? Who are you targeting? What are your price points? And what are your promotions? So can we get it at the chat? So let us do that practical. How much are we spending, especially if we are on band A? Yes, 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 yes. My up that be upgraded to band A. Thank you. So everybody, let's do that. What's your product? What's your price point? Who are you targeting? And what's your promotion strategy? Just something simple. My product is A. My pricing is this. My who I'm targeting is this. And what is the last one? This is my promotion strategy. When we do that, I will then teach you something that would revolutionize your marketing. So can we just get like one or two persons that can type that? Yeah, one or two persons. We really don't have time. We're ending by 4:30. Time run today. Right? Can anyone share your products, your price point, your promotion strategy, and the person you're targeting, people you're targeting? Hello? Sorry, I hope you guys can hear me. So I know I'm not speaking to myself. Okay. I hope, can you hear me?
Yes,
Wow.
we can hear you.
Okay, God. Thank God. All right. Can anyone type? Even if it's one person, so we could just get that. So I will need to use the input of that to do something else. So that is it, definitely. I will need to use the input of that. So if someone can type your products, your price point, your promotion, and the persons you're targeting. Okay. All right, no one for now. Maybe someone may just type later on. All right, so I'd like to say something on structuring your marketing, right? Setting up sales targets. Do that.
Sorry,
Sales targets. Yeah.
sorry, I wanted to mention that someone has responded in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Fire. Yeah. Products, loan assets, framework price $100. Okay. Promotion via entrepreneurship platform, target people, growth oriented female entrepreneurs. Well, fire, that is fine. Good products, rentage, humanitarian and soliciting, pricing 50,000, target government, NGOs, and individuals. I really don't like targeting the government. The bureaucracy there is too much, but it's fine. It's fine. Sorry, Mustafa, it's fine. You can target government, so it's good. But the bureaucracy, the wala is too much. All right, promotion 25% increase. 25 promotion, sorry, Mustafa, promotion talks about how you intend to get to them, right? How do you intend to get to them? Okay, but this is fine. This is fine. Thank you, guys that answered. So there's something I want to teach you about in marketing. The next thing is to develop 3 core sales channel. Now I will come back to this point, but um we need to come up with sales targets. You need to have a sales target for your business. Now, every time, once you decide this is your income and your expenditure, you need to say, okay, how much is sufficient for us to make? So it's either you multiply your current revenue by 2, by 5, or by 10. So I like 2x, 5x, and 10x. To me, I prefer you do 10x because the same effort you use for 2x is the same effort you use for 10x. So why don't you just go for 10x, right? But if you are doing the first stretch to project and to look at growing your sales, start with 2x, it's 2x, then grow to 10x, right? Good. Then we have set up client management process. So the client, I'm saying this because I'm going to go back to 3 core sales channels. Client management process is that you need to ensure that you continuously manage your customer base, right? Your existing customer, please have a CRM, right? Have a CRM that you would use to get to your customers and ensure that you um to your customers and ensure that you help them grow, right? And maintain that relationship with them. That's the words to you. So you maintain that. So the time your customer should hear from you is not always come and come and pay us, right? Come and buy. Mm-mm. You should provide them with good content that will enable them grow, learn some new things about you and stuff. So you should be doing things you should be doing things like that. Sorry, I had to bounce a call from the operations person. So let's look at 3 core sales channels. Well, I think that would be like second to the last thing we do. So 3 core sales channels. So one of the things I would advise you to do is that if you want to structure your hub marketing for growth, you need to look for 3 areas to which you get customers. Or currently tell yourself what are the 3 key areas to which you get customers now, and how many customers you get per those areas. If you want to grow your marketing, it's either you increase the number of persons you get from those areas or add 3 extras. Let me say it again. It's going to help you. Look for 3 areas. So for us, we do direct selling, we do content, and we do referral. So direct selling, content, and referral. Referral is last. I always like it to be last. If we get from each of these people, if we get, because we do retainer, so if we get one customers from each every month, that is 3 customers. If I add 3 extras, like I go for event marketing, I run ads, I do partnerships marketing, that is 3 extra. It means that's turned to 6. I've doubled my sales for the month. Or I could say from my content, I want to get 2 persons from referrals, I'll get 2 persons from direct sales, I'll turn it to 2. That makes it 6. It's either you double what you currently have as a sales channel or you add more sales channels. So let's do this way. For your hub, can you type what is your current sales channel? What are your current sales channel? So type what are your current sales channel, type it in the group chat. We'll just take HR and I'm done. Thank you for your time. So type what is your current sales channel. Loan access framework is an online course. Oh, okay, loan access framework. Okay, that's noted. Digital skills, youths and students, 50K universities, SMEs. Thank you, Abdusalam. That's good. So what are your 3 core sales channels? What are the 3 ways you basically make sales? Just type it. Everybody, type. What are the three ways you make sales? And how many volume of sales come from each of those ways, each of those places monthly? So if you say you do digital marketing, like you run ads, how many persons do you get from ad every month? If you say you do content marketing, how many persons do you get from your content monthly? So you need to have that written. Oh, let's be fast. We have 15. We have like 14 minutes. So while we're typing that, so if you're typing that, please just use your other AI here. This last part. So I normally do business growth advisory sections for people intending to actually scale and grow their business or their up. So I would share my contact details. Then finally, when it comes to up, is structuring your up your people part, which is the human resource. Two parts: talent sourcing, talent management. So when you want to do talent sourcing for your people, number one, have an organogram. It is very important. Have an organogram. Organogram also talks about who is at the top and how authority flows within your company. Number two, develop a job profile for each of your role. You need the hub manager. What is your job profile? Meaning, who is the person, the key skills, qualification needed, how long should this person have done this type of stuff, what is the JD, what is the KPI. Execute recruitment and onboarding. You can't do recruitment without a job profile. And after you do recruitment, do proper onboarding. We don't have time. We would have talked more about the onboarding part, where everybody that comes to you, you need to run them through your operations, run them through your vision and mission. So if you have an SOP, you teach them during your onboarding. Create staff documents, employment contracts. Everybody should have an employment contract. A non-disclosure agreement. They are not supposed to disclose stuff or compete or non-compete, etc. Then you create and deploy policy. You need to have a policy in your business. It's very important. You need to have policy. Means your rules and regulation, your code of conduct, how people do stuff, and continuously update your policy. There should be a communication policy. If you run ads, how long does it take to respond to people online? There should be workplace policy. There should be work from home policy for those that operate a bit of a hybrid system. If you're working from home, this is the policy that guides how you work. It's not that when you're working from home, we call you, the next thing we're hearing is come and buy tomatoes, meaning you're at work and you're at market. Mm-mm. That, so you create policy for that. Anybody that knows that goes against the policy, that leaving the company. Then of course create career growth. Means you need to promote people, learning, and competition. So promoting people just means you need to create like a growth plan. So I should come in as a hub manager, and I should know that I can grow from being just a community manager to a hub manager, and I can see that step. People stay in a place where they can see projection. So you need to structure that. So people will not stay with you if they know that if they will be with you and they'll just be up off air, they'll be community officer for 10 years and they cannot grow beyond that. Their money is not growing, they are not growing, their friends are growing somewhere else, they will leave. Learning, you need to teach your people very well. Of course, you need to really give your people good compensation based on the budget. Just ensure that it's within your budget so that you don't overspend. So thank you guys, thank you very much. I think at this point in time I will stop and take questions. All right, Mustafa, direct networking 20%, smart to mart advert 25%, and digital advert 12%. Okay. With that, Mustafa, if you say this, it means out of every 10 customer you get, 2 comes from networking, 5 comes from mart to mart, and 2 comes from digital marketing. So what you could just do is that it's either you add more channels or you say from direct marketing, so me to just get 2 persons every month, I'm going to get 4. If you do that, month to month, instead of getting 5, I'm going to get 10. You would have doubled your business. If your revenue is like 500,000, you would have moved to a millionaire by just ensuring you double your sales channel. Okay, so thank you guys. I think I will just pause right now and stop the class and just wait for questions. So thank you very much. My name is Mark Anoja, and I do well more on LinkedIn. And this is my phone number, and good to be here. So I think I'll pause the class right now. Madam Hope, over to you. If anybody have any question to ask.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mark, for this very insightful class. And
Thank
for
you.
everyone on the call, I hope you were taking notes because myself, I have really enjoyed this class, and I hope that we've all enjoyed the class. And just like Max said, we are opening up the floor for questions. This is a great opportunity for us to dive deep into what we've learned. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to raise your hands or drop your questions in the chat. Anyone with a question, you could raise your hand or drop your question in the chat. If you have any feedback, any recommendations, you can also share. Okay, Abdul Salam, you have the mic.
Salam Mohammed, you can speak. Don't worry, we've seen your raised hand, so just submit yourself and speak.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good
Can you
evening.
guys hear me?
Abdul. Yeah, loud and clear.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mark Onoja. I really enjoyed the session of presentation. It was
Thank you,
insightful. Okay, so we've been running our up for about a year plus now. The processes in terms of the process of onboarding, that is a new employee has been a little bit tricky. How do you manage that process that everybody gets on board and they get to know what they are supposed to do?
Okay, so that is a very good question. So back to the point. Once you want to do onboarding, there are a lot of things you need to cover. You need to have what they call an onboarding plan. Now, your onboarding plan should state when people come in, what are the things you think they need to know. So they need to know about you, your org, why you started, what's your vision, what's your mission, what's your core values. They need to be grounded in that stuff. Then you sit them down and run them through their job description, explain it, and the KPIs. So job description is different from KPI. Job description is what you do every day when you come to work. KPI is what we're expecting as results from you when you are working. Then your policy. Every organization is like a family, even though it's not a family, but every organization is like a family. And every family have its own rules and regulation. Every home you enter have rules and regulation. I once lived in a home. Once it's 7 o'clock, you have to call in and tell where you are. There's a home I once lived in. 6 o'clock, you have to be at home. There's another home I once lived in. It's 10 p.m. in the evening. You have to be at home. So, what are your policy that guides you people's operation? So you need to run them through that. Then when you're done with that, then you can just say within maybe 2 weeks to 1 month, you double check on them so that they are effectively onboarded inside. Then, of course, introduce them to everybody. You take them around. They sign all the documents that they need to sign. You get the details, all the biodata and stuff. So it's an onboarding plan that guides you on doing all of those stuff. So you don't need to sit down like anybody coming. What does the person needs to know to get the person easily started and easily started quickly? I hope that helps. Mohammed. Hi, Abdul. Okay, he has muted himself. Fire, thank you. Mustafa, you can ask a question. Fire, thanks for that. Nice presentation, Mark. Yeah, thanks for that. Mustafa, you can ask the. Hello, Mustafa. You can unmute yourself and speak. Thank you, Abdul. Mustafa. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you for the presentation. It's such a very beautiful one.
Yeah.
For everything that is said, from the products, the process, the people, and everything, I want to be more particular about the 6 P's. Now, if
Six
after yes, the 6 P's. Now, if after designing your purpose, your process, profit, product, and promotions, now at the end you need to take it to the people. Because it is the people that will give you the product. I mean, that will give you the profits. What are the extra processes you could after design? I mean, we design our SOP.
Mm.
We've had our communication processes and everything, but all of these other 5 P's is not aligning with the last P, which is the people. Which
Which is
other
which is
process?
the
The
people
people.
as per customer or people as per
Yes,
staff?
yes, as per customers. I'm not talking about the
Oh, as
staff.
per customers. Oh, okay.
Yes. How
Okay.
better, how best can we drive down this other piece to these people and make sure we get our profit from them?
Okay, fine. So that is an excellent question. Um, number one, what do you do so we can make it a little bit more tailored to what you do? So what do you do, Mustafa, if I may ask?
Yes, we partner more with NGOs.
Okay, partner with NGO. What value do you provide for them?
We render services. Like we are currently like we implementing partners. Like an NGO is coming to Sokoto to carry
Okay.
out a project.
So you
They might
like
not have a
project partners. You
yes,
provide project support.
yes,
Okay, fine. So if you basically provide project support, right, and you have all of your processes in place, you are providing very good value. So with what you are saying, I know sales is really down and you want really more projects. So the best thing for you to do is that number one is how many NGOs do you know that carry out projects on a consistent base? And with what you're saying, I know you're either in the north central or you're in the northeast or northwest. I know if you're from the north, you're not in the south.
not west.
Northwest. Okay, so you're in the northwest, the Katsina, Sokoto,
Yeah,
Kebbi
yeah,
area. Yeah,
you're
good.
right. So
So
specific.
yeah, I schooled in the north side. So what yeah. So what I would advise you to do is that you need to come up with a list of all NGOs that you know provide support or provides a form of intervention to those areas. Come up with all of them, come up with a list of all of them, then find what they normally do in those areas. Then tailor your product so in such a way or your service in such a way that it enables them achieve that kind of value and that kind of result. Then go on LinkedIn and look for some of the project officers or some of the top guys there. Send your proposal to them and book a meeting and tell them that you, for them engaging you, Mustafa, your up to be like the project support person or deploying your project is going to give them better value compared to them coming on ground to deploy it by themselves. Because the fundamental part about making money as a business person is that pay for people pay for solution and benefits. In fact, people pay for five things: solution, benefit, results, promise, and experience. So if your value you're offering doesn't basically provide a solution, a benefit, a result, a value, no, a result, a promise, or an experience, they basically don't pay you. So find out what they are doing, find out what they are trying to achieve, tailor your project stuff to such that if they hire you as the project person to deploy all of those stuff, they will get more results compared to when they come on grant. And I don't think they are going to say no to you. Then contact them on LinkedIn and make presentation. You should talk to as much. It's not that you're talking to just one or two persons. You should talk to all the NGOs that do things there. So if it's 100 NGOs, get on the system and look for those 100 NGOs because you know your conversion rate usually will be like 10%. So if you talk to 100 NGOs, it's only 10 that would give you a project to do. And if you're having 10 projects to do every year, you're good, especially if it's a big project. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you too. All right, someone else have a question. Please, if you have a question,
My
you can
my
just submit yourself.
oh,
Hi,
my
Fire.
hi Mark. Well done. This was
Thank you.
very, very good because it took care of the fundamentals. Some startups, possibly get carried away and don't realize that at the end of the day, it's still a business and must run like a business. So, what I wanted to add to all the wonderful things you've said is the role of leadership, because a lot of things rise and fall on leadership. So, whether you're needing to take that difficult decision with regards to the human resource, like you were telling us, oh, in fact, I have 16 people. We still had to let someone go and we are bringing some new people. You need to take that decision and be firm about it. If when it comes to your accounting, if you see something going wrong, you either look at the software. If it's not okay, you take that decision to make the change, take that decision to cut expenses. A lot goes into leadership. You need to show it, do it, and that would really help your business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fire. That was well communicated. Thank you very much. Actually, just speaking on leadership, the only thought that came to my mind, which of course I will advise everybody to get that book, is called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It's by John C. Maxwell. And he spoke about, I got one, borrowed it and refused to return it. So I've gotten another one. The first law I talk about is called the law of lead, LID. Said everything lies and falls on the leader. That once you increase your leadership quotient and capacity, you can be able to deliver more results. And of course, making that difficult decision in business is part of being a leader. So thank you very much, Fayo. Sincerely appreciated. Okay. Does anybody else have a question? Hello? Hello?
I think that's all.
Oh, that's all. Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you so very much, everyone, for those wonderful questions and for the addition from Madam Fayo. And thank you to Mark for such an engaging and informative session. I'm sure that we are all walking away with very valuable insights. And if you think so, attendees, if you think so, please let's appreciate Mark in the chats for such a very nice class.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so Mark, is it possible to share your email in the chat for anyone that
Yeah,
would like
sure,
to
sure.
follow up with you?
My email,
Okay.
my email. I'll share my LinkedIn. I do more of LinkedIn and WhatsApp, so I will share that. I'll share that on the chat.
All right, thank you very much. And so we'll also share a recording of the session and Mark's presentation. Mark, is that possible as well?
It is very possible. I will have the PDF done and shared with you, so you could just share it with everyone as deem fit.
All right, so we'll share that with everyone after this call. Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone that these ISN knowledge sessions are curated in collaboration with our member hubs. So please reach out to the secretariat if you have a key topic that you know hubs will benefit from that you would like to facilitate. You could also fill out the form that I am dropping in the chat so that we can get details of the topic that you would like to share and when you would like to share it. Okay, so thank you everybody for participating. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for sharing your different knowledge, your different insights. Until until the next session, have a good evening. Bye, everyone. Okay, bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.
All right. Bye. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye, guys.